Oh, that's on my screen. There's a little something on my screen. I thought it was on my shirt. Anyway, hello everyone. My name is IanTheHRPro. That's my name down there. I go by the hashtag IanTheHRPro. And you are watching IanTheHRPro live podcast. Yes, live, completely unscripted and just a pile of burning dumpster garbage. I mean, I try really hard to make this fun and good. I'm just trying to give you some value, but I can offer more value if you ask your questions in the comments, please. There's a bit of a delay from when you write a comment to when I see it within my app. I use restream.io, and I guess, I don't know, it's like a minute, 2 minutes before a comment will show up on my side in the app. That's fine. I'll try to get to them as best I can. Oh, there's a rabbit outside. I always see this rabbit next door. I'm looking out on their neighbor's backyard with their awesome garden and stuff. Anyway, I am going live today on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter X. I guess I'm one of the holdouts. I mean, whatever. I gotta do what I gotta do. That thing is still on my screen. It's driving me nuts. Okay. So, I got it. It's off the screen. Let everyone know that I'm good. Today is Wednesday. Our topic today is side gigs, side hustles, freelancing, small business, aka marketing to build your small side business. Talk about anything and everything small business if you want to talk about it. If you want to give me a comment, and we'll get talking about certain things. I know lately I've been having some issues. Earl Grey tea today. Just a little bit warm for me. Let that cool down. The use of programs and services owned or operating out of Israel is kind of a hard subject to deal with. I like and I love the website Fiverr.com. It allows me to put my little gigs, my little things up there, and it's not a real big money maker for me, but it's something, I don't know, I make maybe $20 a month off Fiverr, something like that. But it's something, it's part of my monetization plan, right? I can review resumes, and I do it through Fiverr. So I let Fiverr, if you trust Fiverr and you trust the company, then you trust to pay them to pay me for your service, right? And other things, little gigs I have on there that are pretty cheap. Holy smokes. So me and my wife did a bad thing last night. We were trying to finish off season 21 of Grey's Anatomy, and there was a cliffhanger, so of course we had to watch the first episode of season 22. So that was no, that was not good. So maybe that's why I'm yawning. Maybe that's why I need more tea. So we kind of rely on these apps and programs that aren't necessarily Canadian and aren't necessarily even North American in nature, and we use these to help us grow our gigs and our side business, right? Like Uber's not Canadian, Um, I don't think DoorDash or Skip are Canadian, right? If you're doing that, if you're doing the that sort of side hustle, TaskRabbit, I don't think that's Canadian app. So we use these things, Airbnb, if you're renting out a room or a house or apartment or something through Airbnb, that's not necessarily a Canadian app. So if anyone's got some list of Canadian apps that might, I spit on myself a little bit. Someone's got a list of Canadian apps they have that would help someone with their side hustle or small business. Start putting them in the chat or create a website and share them, because maybe there's an affiliate link you could use and you can make some money off it. And that seems to be when you're, God, what am I dropping here? Must be something in my beard or something. Breakfast in my beard. Breakfast beard. Oh, God damn it, that thing on the screen. I'm okay. I just have a dirty computer screen. Someone needs to clean it more often. I'm not saying who. I'm not blaming anybody. Probably me. But when you're starting a side gig, a side hustle, or some sort of freelancing, you tend to, the easiest way to get rolling is to throw yourself onto some of these apps or programs out there so that you can immediately possibly start getting business. Oh, excuse me, I'm just burping here. So the idea is, if you're doing a side hustle, I wonder if there's some way is there a whiteboard I can share? Let's see. Presentation, screen share, image, extra camera, image, no, screen share. I could share a screen. Why don't I pull up Microsoft Word or something, and I can at least write down this information and we can talk a little more about it, right? So I'll share that screen and we will discuss. Just adjusting my screens. Okay, just adjusting my screens. Make that a little smaller. I'll leave my chat open so I can see it if anyone asks a question. And I'm going to share my Microsoft Office screen. How's that look? Does that look good? Should we do this? Let's do this. I always kind of like this because it looks bigger. Anyway, I'll try to keep myself on the screen. So talk about like starting your side gig, your side hustle, your freelance opportunity, your small business, and we're talking about the digital age, right? If you have a business where you think it would be good that you just walk around the neighborhood giving flyers to everybody, then do that. I would say if you were a younger person or a student, maybe you don't have my hair too. If you don't have a vehicle, or if you don't have the means to get across a big city or to the next town to do some work, right? Then you're left with, I live in this neighborhood. I need to let my neighbors know that I'm doing something. I'm doing a service. So, and that ends up being just walking around to your neighbor's house and saying, hey, mister, can I mow your lawn? Can I wash your windows? Can I clean your yard? Right? Whatever you might be doing. Can I take your trash out? Like, whatever And this is certainly on a more basic, lower level. If you're a student or a teenager, or maybe even someone who's in a situation, I don't know, you're looking after your elderly parent, but when they're napping for a few hours, you have the opportunity to go out and do something else and make a few bucks, right? Like that sort of thing. We all got to get creative when we do that. And, you know, if it makes sense for you to print out a little piece of paper or maybe a flyer and say, hey, I do all these things, help me out. Certainly use the heartstrings and say, I look after my elderly parent and I need to make a few extra dollars each month. Can you help me out, right? And these are a list of things that I can do for you. That's pretty basic. And if you are certainly a fit person, then doing this is kind of like just odd jobbing, chores, right? Then you should have no issue with that. Me, on the other hand, I got bad knees and I have a hard time mowing my own lawn, let alone mowing 10 lawns over the weekend. My sister, on the other hand, she owns a riding lawnmower and she mows people's lawn, but she's in a small town, so she ends up mowing these massive lawns. Anyway, but we're kind of going one step beyond that with this discussion today, right? So we're gonna get this, and we're gonna start off with something simple. And I don't like. Where is everything? Oh, let's do this. Oh no, here. I don't like the spacing. That's it. Okay. So we want to. You've got something that's maybe a service or more service based, product based. It's might be a little bit different. So if you're a crafty person and you're selling products, you might go a different route, but some of it still might help you. So let's just work through this a little bit, and I may or may not keep changing things up as I go. So, gigs, hustles, marketing, right? So you have no money and you're trying to make money. You have absolutely no extra money to put into this. You may or may not be working a full-time job or part-time job, but you need to start making money. And let's assume you already canvassed the neighborhood. All right. Flyers and door knocking. This is what you did. You've already done that. You already canvassed the neighborhood. Flyers and door knocking. Maybe you got a few odd jobs. Maybe you didn't. Right. But now, whatever you're doing, whatever you like to do, I mean, it's going to work better for you mentally if you're doing something that you actually enjoy doing. If you're out there just trying to make money because you heard something makes money, it's not going to be as enjoyable. You're not going to be as dedicated to it, right? So just try to keep that in mind. Try to think, what do I love doing? That's why a lot of gurus are telling you, follow your passion, right? And I think that's really great advice. And even if you're passionate about something and you know there's already, you can name off 50 people in your town or online that are doing the same thing as you. I mean, I think there's still room. You just have to come about it a different way, right? So I'm coming from this from a point of view that you're broke, right? Maybe you're just making a little bit of money. There's money trickling in, and I'm thinking like the money I get from Fiverr. Right now that's 10 to 50 bucks a month. It's not a lot of money. And it's certainly not enough money for me to start leveraging that money, right? 10 to 20 bucks goes into your bank account and goes to groceries. Like you just don't notice it. It's not something that's a big lump sum or something like that, or ongoing money, some cash flow you've created, right? The idea is you want to step up that cash flow. And this can be hard. This can be really, really hard, and it can take a long time. If you absolutely need money, it may be worth it for you to just grab a bunch of stuff from your house and go to the pawn shop, right? Like that's the basic. I need money. I'm going to go pawn shop, right? And that's, if you're desperate for money, things don't matter as much as food or rent or clothing for the kids, right? These sorts of things, they totally eclipse things, right? You can, instead of having a TV and having cable TV or a bunch of streaming services, you could go out and do one-time purchase for a board game and entertain your kids that way. And when they're done with the board game or they're bored with the board game, then you go sell it. Maybe you pawn it again and you go get a different board game, right? And there are places that have entertainment, activities, programs. If you're in Edmonton here, look to your local community leagues, look to your local church groups, look to your different cultural groups. These nonprofits and community groups, they're designed to give you programming, right? So look to them and find that programming. And a lot of times this programming is all free and funded. So it's a nice way to supplement the entertainment that you might need for your children and things like that. Man, this is a big ramble, right? I mean, if you're in desperate need of money, pawn stuff, right? If in desperate need. I'm just saying, stuff is stuff. When you get back on your feet or you get things going, you can get new stuff. I know it's heartbreaking. It's heart-wrenching. I play my Xbox 360 maybe twice a year right now. Like, it's not something that I'm doing on the regular, but it would hurt me to have to pawn that off. I'd probably be lucky if I got 50 bucks for it, right? Because it is the older, I think there's a newer Xbox. I don't even know. That's how unconnected I am right now. I don't know I think the Xbox One is the newest one. Anyway, but there's junk behind me. You can see right here in the photo, that's my Walking Dead Rick Grimes thing. I think he's worth like $5 right now, and I could could sell them online or something, go pawn them for $2, right? If there's things we have in our lives that make us us, but I think things only enhance us. They don't really define us, and they're not really who we are. They're just the things that we would like to have around because of who we are. And it hurts to get, hurts to get rid of that stuff. I know I've been selling some stuff on Facebook Marketplace. I hate dealing with those people. It's crazy. I've been trying to have a yard sale each year, and we keep missing it. Or like our community league has this yearly yard sale where all the people in the community get listed on the community league website and the yard sale info, so everybody in the community knows where all the yard sales are that weekend, right? And I keep trying to do that. I got a bunch of stuff in the garage that I'm just trying to sell off, right? Garage or yard sales. I mean, you could do weekly, on weekends. There's always people looking for deals and things like that, right? So this is just kind of getting the flow, getting the ideas going, where we need to be thinking as we start going down this way. We need something like your reasoning for needing a side gig or side hustle is you could be full-time, but you got a passion you want to follow. You could be full-time and actually hate your job and just want to quit, so you want to build something else. You could be part-time and you need to start making some extra money, and doing your passion's a good way to do it. I just got a message here. Check it. Okay, just some dude messaging me on Fiverr gig. No, I already did that gig. So this is like your low level stuff, right? Pawn shop, that's immediately you grab your stuff and you go sell it. Okay. Garbage truck is making a big dust outside, and it just went poofing by my window. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, everything's okay. Everything's okay. So, like, this is the low level stuff. Pawn shop, instant money, right? You just got to get your stuff there. Yard sales, weekly money. I don't know. You can make $50 to a couple $100 a weekend. I mean, there's no guarantee you're going to make lots of money, but if people get used to the fact that you're doing yard sales, I mean, that's great. And this is just selling your stuff. Same thing. It's just you're not going to a pawn shop where you might get a lower price at a pawn shop for something. So being able to sell it at your own garage or yard sale might be beneficial to you, because the pawn shop might give you $20, but you know it's worth 30 or 40, so you save it and you do it at your yard sale, right? I mean, this doesn't help for people that are in apartment buildings. Garage sale, yard sales, not good for apartment buildings. Apartment dwellers, right? Like, Oh, not suitable for apartment dwellers. Let's go with that. So now you've got, this is one step away from buying a crowbar and breaking into all your neighbors' houses, right? Like that's first level. You know, like this is the stuff that is gonna get money in your pocket right now. It's not ongoing money really, and it's not a lot of money. It's basically recycling your stuff to give you some of that money back that you spent on it. And we could add, we could add some like Facebook Marketplace selling, right? And this would be, it's a little bit harder than the garage sale, yard sale, because people are annoying on Facebook Marketplace. It seems like everybody's just trying to rip you off and get you the cheapest deal. So you got to really, when you list something on Marketplace, you really have to set your boundaries, set your terms, and be willing to turn someone away if they come to the door. You had agreed on $40 for this item, and now they're saying, "Oh, I only brought 20." Right? You got to be ready to stand your ground, stick to your guns, and say, "No, I'm sorry. Thank you anyway." Right? You've got to be really, tough. Oh my God. Stick to your guns. Right. So it's a little bit harder. Things might go fast depending on what it is, or things might sit there and linger forever. So, but this is basically just recycling your stuff. A little bit more instant money. It's very local in nature. It's neighborhood in nature. It's your town, right? We're not going to any other means, right? You may just market all this. On a couple social media sites, right? Because you got Facebook Marketplace, so you're going to post it, it's going to show up. Maybe you're going to share it to a few groups. Maybe you're going to repost it to your own page a couple times, right? To your friends and family. And you're going to, well, obviously you're not going to post that you're going to the pawn shop. Maybe you're saying, "Hey, I'm going to the pawn shop to get rid of this item. It's this spare TV we don't need anymore. If anyone online, any of my friends and family would like to have it for $50, that would be a great help. Otherwise, I've got to take it to the pawn shop and they might only give me $20, right?" That's the low level. Who is at my front door? Sorry. Okay, that's fine. That's not for me. My mother-in-law lives with us, and she's got a lot of home care workers showing up today. So, the nurse, and I think she's getting her COVID shot, and stuff like that. But they come to her because she's because she's disabled and has to use a wheelchair most of the time. Okay. You're going to keep this really basic, right? That's kind of first level. I don't even know what to call this, but this is triage. This is you just trying to get as much money as possible in a fast sort of way. And I hope you're not taking this advice to feed an addiction or something like that. You know, there are hard times, and we've all got hard times. So I'm hoping that you're using this advice to kind of keep yourselves healthy and, you know, kind of trying to take that next step. Because you could, if you got enough of stuff. I know when we first moved into our house, it felt empty because we came from a one bedroom apartment, and it felt packed in, like it felt what's the word, cozy. It seemed like we had a lot of stuff when we were in our apartment, but then we moved into our house and we went into the whole house poor situation because we suddenly needed all kinds of stuff. More tools. Oh my God, a lawnmower. You know, and we gotta buy some wood or do some painting. Build a shelf. Put up a shelf. Get a bunch of IKEA shelves, bookshelves. You know, like we ended up buying a lot of stuff when we first moved into our house, and we accumulated a lot of stuff. And I've done work with some stuff. Like I bought crimping tools for the PEX water line, so I could repair a tap that had frozen out the back of the house. So I had to put on a new tap, and it was a terrible job, mind you. It still leaks. Like the new tap I bought was leaking, and I tried to repair the new tap, and for the life of me, I didn't have the right washers. So of course I had to go buy this kit with like every type of rubber washer you could think of. I had it. None of them fit. So I just, you know, there's just this stuff that's accumulated. I'm like, what the? I don't need any of this stuff. But I'm about to repair a tap in the house, and I had to order some hex bits because there's a hex screw on the top of the tap. It's like, what the? It didn't even dawn on me when we first got that tap installed that I would have to buy a new drill bit set. Anyway, we accumulated stuff. We got a lot of stuff. We got like, I want to say 3 lawnmowers, but I think I actually managed to sell one. I bought a new one. It's fully electric, and I just popped in the big battery, and I can put it on turtle speed, and it just drives itself around the yard, pulling me around, right? So that's great. But I have another lawnmower that I could get rid of. I'm thinking next spring I should just wash and clean stuff like the lawnmower and make it look brand new, and try to sell it for $100 instead of like $20. But anyway, so the first level, I don't know what to call this, first level hustle and marketing. If you can get a few things sold that do more than just supplement your budget, you should be a minimalist like me. So this is my sister. She's been listening. She's always listening. That's awesome. My #1 fan. You should be a minimalist like me. Happy crazy face. I would say my sister Joy, she is borderline pack rat, borderline hoarder. So that's why she's smiling with that. She's got a lot of stuff. She's got a big family, and they got a lot of stuff going on. So I mean, I don't blame her. We got we got like nobody here. It's just the three of us in the house, yet we got all this junk. And it's like, what's going on? So anyway, back to my list. Thank you for the comment, Joy. So that's the first level, right? Let's just make some instant money right now and advertise quickly on the social medias that you're a part of. Second level, right? This is second level marketing. Canvassed the neighborhood, right? This is just doing simple printed flyers, nothing fancy. You're not going out and paying some printing company to make you 10,000 flyers on special paper that's fully glossy, and this is just you printing out, creating a Word document like I'm creating right here, and just a list of things you can do or whatever it is you're trying to market. Keep it simple. My God. Simple flyers and door knocking, right? What you're going to put on there, you're going to either put your just an email address or a telephone number. Old school people love telephone numbers. They want to call you. So if you're thinking you're helping Gen Xers or boomers, you probably should put a phone number on it, right? And who are the homeowners in your neighborhood? That's kind of who you're geared towards. Now, trying to get your flyer into an apartment building is a whole nother ball game. You can't get in unless you pay like Canada Post to drop it off. There's just no way for you to get in a building legally. I mean, if you know somebody who lives in that building, or you say, hey, how many units in your building? Could you run around and pop this under everybody's door for me? You know, like, then that's something. But again, you're still not spending money to do it, because Canada Post can be expensive. And I did a mail out a few months back. I was trying to sell ads on a 9 by 12. Anyway, this big, nice, hard thing. I was trying to sell ads on that to try to make some money and to advertise my own business. But it was expensive to print and then expensive to send out. It was over $2,000 for printing and Canada Post. So when you're selling the ads on that, it seems like a nice thing to do, but it's very time consuming. And a lot of businesses, they're just not paying for that type of hyper local advertising anymore. And I guess we'll kind of get to that with what I'm talking about here, because I didn't get any business. I sent out that flyer to 10,000 homes in my neighborhood and like really close neighborhoods, and I got nothing. I mean, one of the people that purchased an ad on it from me, they made back their money. They got a new client and made back that money. She's what is this on my neck? Just stuff flying out. Must be a dust storm or something. Anyway, so she made back her money when I did that, but I didn't make any money. I believe I didn't sell enough ads, but I was trying to get it out there to see if I could generate ads for the second round. Nobody wanted to renew their ad, and I got no new ads for the next mail out. And it was just, I'd spent so much time. I've done all these marketing things to try to bring business in and spent so much money, thousands of dollars doing these things, and it's just not working, right? So you hear success stories about certain things, and, well, why can't you do it? Well, that's kind of what we're talking about here today. So the second level stuff, right, it's more local. You canvass the neighborhood. You know, your costs are paper, essentially. You got a computer and you can use some editing program, or not editing program, some word processing program, whatever it might be, something simple. Just get the basics down. Your name and a list of things you do. Maybe you put down an hourly rate. Maybe you put a rate for each thing you do. Maybe you just put that phone number and says, call me for rates, right? And you've just given this to all your neighbors. Now, I'm a little peeved off because when I was a kid, we lived in a trailer park, and the administration office at the trailer park had a bunch of lawnmowers that residents in the trailer park could borrow to mow lawns in all their little lots. So me and my buddy, the neighbor, we'd each get a lawnmower, and they would give us the gas to fill the tank, and we would each go mow our own lawn. And then we would spend the rest of the day going to the neighbors' yards and asking if we could mow their lawn, right? And we were making, I don't know, couple bucks each per lawn we mowed. I mean, it wasn't a lot of money. I don't remember if we had any really big hauls, but I would walk all over the neighborhood, all over the trailer park, knocking on doors. And I don't know, maybe I'd mow 2-3 extra lawns that day and make, I don't know, $5-10. I mean, $5-10 for like a 7-year-old in the mid 80s. That was a lot of money, man. That was a lot of money. But I have never had the neighborhood kids come over to our house and say, hey, do you got any yard work we can do for a couple bucks? I mean, like, why aren't we doing this anymore? And I think there's this whole safety thing right now. We understand that people can be dangerous and bad things happen, and we see it all the time on social media. So use the technology to protect yourselves and protect your children while they're out possibly doing something like this, right? Use that protection. Use that technology as protection. So they could be actively filming when they go to each door, right? And going live and saying, come along with me as I look for extra work, and then you go to the neighbor's yard or whatever, and you say, hi, I'm so-and-so, I'm trying to do this. Just to let you know, I have my camera on for my own safety, right? We can do this. Everybody's got a camera now, right? We got locator tags, right? You put one on your lawnmower somewhere, and as you're going around the neighborhood, your parents could track you. And if you're stuck at one place for too long, your parents know that you've been there too long, right? Or every time you start a job, you text your parents, or the group chat that you and your kids and your family have, right? Hey, I'm doing a lawn at this address. Just started now, right? And then when you're done the lawn, you're like, done. then you move on to the next yard, right? You can use these things to be safe. And I think this is my perspective as a male, and I hope that women could also use this technology if they were planning on doing something like this. Services for your neighbors. Right, the cost is paper. Paper and time. So, and that's just getting the canvassing going. Talking about what your job is, right? You're basically doing odd service jobs, right? There's no real direction in what you're doing. Yard cleanup, lawn mowing, leaf raking, whatever window washing, like if you've just trying to do the simple things that really isn't going to cost you much, right? You're doing snow shoveling. Oh, that's not shoveling. Oh, that's not raking either. Shoving. How do you spell shoveling, my God? Oh, 2 L's. All right. Snow shoveling. I mean, this is kind of outside stuff. Doing the outside stuff is a safer situation. So you're not going into someone's house that might be a danger zone. So outside odd service jobs, right? There's a level of safety knowing that you're not locked in someone's creepy house, right? So you've canvassed the neighborhood to do this, and what else can you start doing? At this level, you can certainly do social media marketing. Now, when I say social media marketing, I'm not saying paying for ads. You should never pay for an ad on social media unless that piece of content that you posted goes viral. Viral to you. So say you normally only get about 50 views or whatever on your posts, and then you have one that does a couple thousand, 5,000. That's going viral for you. If you normally get 5,000-6,000 views on your stuff, going viral for you might be something different. 10,000, 50,000 views, like that, right? So it's the start, and it's the physical act of posting on social media is free. It's not costing you anything. And if you happen to get a piece of content that goes viral, then you can look at that and say, can I make more content related to that? And is it time for me to pay to create an ad based on that content, or even just boosting that particular post, right? Then that's where you're putting money into it. But at this second level, you're not even worried about that, right? You're still doing a little bit more down to earth type stuff. And this is the odd job. This is the easy stuff. I know in the economy, people might not be able to afford to do stuff, to have stuff done for them. I would consider bartering as something that you could do. So you see this lawn that needs mowed, and you're like, hey, Mr. Johnson, can I mow your lawn? Mr. Johnson's like, I'm newly retired and I'm living on my pension. I can't afford to pay you anything to do that. Although my son is supposed to come mow it, he's out of town for the next month and won't be able to do it, right? Well, could you ask Mr. Johnson to trade something? Mr. Johnson says, I've got this spare TV I could give you, and you could take it home for your kids, or maybe you could go pawn it off, right? Barter. Get creative. We look for cash. We always want cash money. That's the most important thing. But when you are open to bartering, there may be opportunities for you. Sorry, I just cracked my knuckles right in the microphone. Ooh. So you got Mr. Johnson's TV, you mowed his lawn. Now you got your first level options. You can go pawn it, or you can just keep it. Maybe that's a great surprise for the family because you already pawned off their TV once. Or maybe you're throwing it into the garage sale next weekend and getting as much as you can out of it, right? Maybe you're throwing it up on the Facebook Marketplace, dealing with the crazies, but it's still something, right? And just being able to throw it up on your social media and say, hey, I got this TV. Anyone want to buy it? $50, right? And $40 if you come pick it up yourself or whatever, right? Well, you might want to, and I hate delivering stuff. I'd rather have people just come to my house and pick stuff up. But there's a safety issue, right? Some communities have those, what's it called? The drop-off pickup stalls at your local police station. So you might be able to go down to the detachment and park there and say, come pick it up. I'll be at the police station at this time, right? And they come in and you do your business right in front of the police station. Safety, hopefully they're not going to rip you off right in front of the cop shop. But certainly if you're going to meet someone someplace, do it someplace public. If you're worried about that, if that's a concern, public, or at special locations where there's cameras and cops nearby and stuff like that, right? So barter, right? Be open to fair bartering, right? TV for a lawn mow, right? That sort of thing, because there could be opportunities there. And next week, Mr. Johnson's going to be like, hey, can you come back? But I got $10 I can pay you this time, right? Like, well, yay. All right, thanks, Mr. Johnson, for lawn mowing. So you've canvassed the neighborhood with your flyers. You're doing odd jobs. Maybe you are doing something else, right? So with social media marketing, it's free to post. You're posting on your own profile, or maybe you start a group related to what you're doing, what it happens to be that you're doing. You might find local groups that have already been created, odd job groups, so you might want to post there. But it might be noisy. There might be 5,000 people in that group, and there's 10-20 posts a day, people doing odd jobs and things like that. So you might be lost in the aggregate, but it might be something worth doing your own posting once a day or once a week or something like that, right? Because at least you're getting a possible larger group of eyes looking at what you got. So you open the fair bartering, right? Obviously you're not going to take I don't even know. You're not going to take a spoon for mowing a lawn, right? Make sure it's fair. Try to get as fair as possible. But you could even put on your flyer that you sent out, hey, open to bartering for quality items, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're in a small town, it might be a little bit harder. In the neighborhood, might be in the big city, it might be a little bit scary, right? It's all your comfort level. Social media. What was I about to say? I cut myself off to finish off the social media marketing. Canvas the neighborhood. You're doing like outside odd service jobs. You're doing social media marketing. Be open to fair bartering. I mean, if you're doing inside odd service jobs, so I'm saying cleaning. Oh God, cleaning. That's all I got. That's weird. Cleaning. Maybe you're cooking for somebody. Maybe Mr. Johnson needs someone to come in each week and just batch cook a bunch of food for him. Right? He's got everything there, and you're just helping him. You're just cooking. I mean, with this one, for safety reasons, you may want to do this with a partner. So, partner with someone, right? So, you and a friend, you want to clean people's houses, and there's two of you. I mean, that makes the service really great because there's two of you doing the work, and you could clean someone's house top to bottom in 2-3 hours, depending on the size of the house, because there's two of you. But you're being safe because you got a buddy with you. Or safety, right? So we're talking cleaning, cooking, organizing. I mean, now, organizing can be a really big job, and if you're doing a whole house organizing, that's a little bit harder to do. There is organizing companies that are professionals with organizing, and they've got all the skills to do it. So you want to do simple organizing, right? You don't want to be doing full whole house stuff. Mr. Johnson's got a pile of his favorite VHS tapes in the living room, and he just got this new little shelving unit, but it needs to get put in place next to the TV, and he would love it if he could put all his VHS up there in alphabetical order or by genre or whatever, right? That sort of simple organizing. That's what I'm thinking of. Sorry. And of course, you're doing this with a partner. So keeping it simple, keeping it safe. I don't even know what else you would be doing in somebody's house. I was doing odd jobs, and I replaced some some lighting for some people. I installed their new lighting fixtures for them, but I realized I'm not cut out for that kind of odd jobbing, because when you're half an hour with your arms above you like this trying to mess with a lighting fixture, oh, I didn't have my own ladder or anything like that. I was just like, yeah, I'll just go do some odd jobs. And it was hard. Oh, my shoulders hurt after that odd job, so I stopped doing odd jobs. Just like, oh man, trying to make extra money any way I could. And I realized that the odd jobbing wasn't exactly for me, just because of me, my body, my health, my, like it's a different ball game. So inside odd jobs, partner with someone for safety. Absolutely. Unless you feel safe. Maybe you know Mr. Johnson. Maybe he's your neighbor, your direct neighbor. You live right next door to him. Maybe that's a safe person. You've lived there for the last 20 years and you know Mr. Johnson, right? That's a different situation. But if this is Mr. Johnson across the neighborhood and you've only just met him, you didn't know he lived there, I mean, that might be a safety thing that you want to worry about. God, this rambling mess. Anyway, this is me working out. This is my creative mind trying to work out, come up with ideas that might help you. When I'm helping a client, whether it's human resources or helping with marketing or helping with Indigenous relations and allyship stuff, I go through this creative process with myself to give them ideas, and with them to try to coax ideas out of them. Because a lot of times I feel like people are scared of their ideas. Don't be scared of your ideas. Just put it down on paper. Let's talk about it. It might be the worst idea ever, but when you're doing brainstorming, you do this thing, and you're like, what's the phrase? Oh my God. You might not agree with this thing, this idea, this thought, but you may say, oh, I like this. I don't want to use the word but. Here's something that would make it better. Yes, and. Yes, I like this. And we can make it better by doing this. That's where your mindset always wants to be. So when you look at this, yes, I'm going to go pawn some of my stuff. Okay, I like the idea of selling my stuff. And if we do a garage sale, I'll be able to sell it for more. Right? So all of a sudden the idea starts progressing. And we can post it on Facebook Marketplace. And we can share it on our simple social medias, right? And kind of get that word out. Yeah. So you get an idea. It might be the worst idea in the world, unless it's just tweaked a little bit, and then it's the most amazing idea in the world. So we canvass the neighborhood. We're doing outside odd jobs. We're working on social media because we're posted. It's free, right? We're being open to fair bartering because not everyone has money. But I mean, an old TV for mowing the lawn might be worth it. Hanging pictures, washing dishes every couple days, sorting the front entrance and closet, sorting the deck in spring and fall. Oh my God, great ideas. This is my sister talking about her ideas. Nice. There's a lot of things. Oh, I love that hanging pictures one. Let's see. I'll try to write some of these down here. Pictures. Washing dishes. I mean, Washing dishes is technically cleaning, but it's not. It's a simple clean task, right? But it means the world to people. Um, right? We have more simple organizing. Entrance. What else we got? Front entrance. Deck space. Right, there's lots of stuff we can do. Strong backs help in the garden to till up in spring and fall. Oh my God, yeah. And we talk about we're kind of mowing lawn, window washing, snow shoveling. What we got? Garden work, like tilling, weeding. I mean, these are great ideas. If I don't have kids, I'd get someone to come clean my ceiling fan for $10, right? This is our ceiling fan in the kitchen is just a mess right now, and I know I can reach up and touch it. It'd take me about 30 seconds to do all the fins on the fan, and it's clean. But right now, after a summer of heat and hot, it's got that cat hair buildup on it, and it's just disgusting, right? I can do it. I'm fine. But what about poor old Mr. Johnson, who can barely walk, let alone stand there and reach up, let alone get on a small ladder or a chair or something? He's going to break a hip. So $10 for him to clean something like that means the world, right? Ceiling fan. Let's do that. What? No. Like the front end and entrance or deck space, right? Like these simple things. No, dismiss that. So my sister's got some great ideas. Here, I'll put her. Oh, I did share it already. It's in the way. So I guess I didn't need to share it, but whatever. We got it. She's giving me some great ideas, and they're your ideas now. So whatever you can brainstorm, like these things, there's a lot of stuff you could do if you're able-bodied. And a little bit, the first level stuff is pretty simple. So you seem to get my chat faster when I'm using my computer instead of my cell phone. Okay, so the chat's coming in for my sister. She says it's coming in a lot faster because she's on her computer right now. But when she's on her cell phone app, the chats, the comments come in a lot slower. So just so you know, oh, that's awesome. That's good. The interwebs are working better on your computer. So second level stuff really kind of depends on you being a little more able-bodied. You start ramping up your social media marketing on this, right? Like this is something, these are things, again, it's still fairly simple things, right? You're just helping people out. And this is basically, I don't know, one step above the lemonade stand, right? First level. Oh, let's put lemonade stand here. Lemonade. Wrong aid. Lemonade stand type stuff. Right? Very, very local, very simple, very you. I see a lot of people who have garage sales or large yard sales. They do a bunch of baking also. So they got breads and bannocks and cupcakes or whatever. I took the time to find my desk again. It was buried under my minimalist lifestyle. And there's a quote from my sister that we are going to keep up there for a little while for shits and giggles. That's awesome. So she took my advice and sold a bunch of her stuff, made some money, and was able to find her computer. So yeah, first level stuff, very me. This is what I have. This is my quick options. 2 is more what I can do for you in the physical sense, because we're talking about outside stuff. We're talking about service jobs where we're doing stuff for you. And I think if we're going into third level, it almost feels like you are mechanizing your services. Oh my God, there was a lemonade day in Wob during the summer, and lots of the kids were encouraged to set up at the end of their driveways. Some even kept going every weekend. It was awesome. Yes, I saw that. Now, she says, Wabasca is my hometown, and this was so neat. I did see the advertising for it, and it was encouraging the kids to set up these lemonade stands. Oh my God, that's awesome. And I think we need more of that. And the creativity, this was community wide. Joy, do you know how many kids participated? I don't think I got the full number, but it's basically lemonade stands all over the community. And that's awesome that they kept doing it weekend after weekend. So, mechanizing your services. What do I mean by that? Mechanizing your services. So now you're maybe making a little bit of money and you need additional things, right? You're getting pressure washer, right? You're getting steam cleaner, or for rugs, or just I saw like 10 that day. So my sister saw 10 of these kids out doing their lemonade stands. That's awesome. Steam cleaner for rugs, just one of those handheld steam cleaners. So I guess you could call it a steamer, maybe. We had one. We had a little Bissell one. I mean, we got it for nefarious reasons. We were living in an apartment and there was bed bugs. So we were steaming our bed bugs and trying to kill them. That's the main reason why we ended up moving into a house, because I was just freaked out by the bed bugs. And my wife wasn't getting bit, but when they got into our apartment, they always bit me. And the first time it happened, I actually felt something moving on my chest, and I reached up and I squished it. And I freaked out in the dark, and I ran to the washroom, and sure enough, there's a dead bug and blood all over my fingers. Oh, that's gross. That's a gross story. Don't tell that story. Anyway, steamer. We used a steamer to steam out all kinds of different stuff to clean the apartment, and it just didn't Didn't work. We had diatomaceous earth around all the walls in the unit, and then we also found Dr. Doom. That stuff we sprayed everywhere, especially on the threshold. We found out that there was like drug users living across the hall, and when they got evicted, all their bed bugs started moving into our unit. Ooh. And I would find them down the long hallway to our bedroom. And, never mind, stop talking about that. Oh, squeezed out now. Jesus. Okay. Mechanizing your services. So this is where you're like, oh my God, I helped Mr. Johnson. We made a couple $100 over the last couple weeks now. Oh, let's go get a rug steam cleaner for $200. And we have one. I use it now and again where the kitty litter is, and I steam clean that spot. It's just a simple little one, right? But now I can go to Mr. Johnson and say, hey, we organized your living room a little bit, but we noticed your rug is a little dirty. What would you consider us to come in and steam clean, right? So, and the pressure washer, it's like if you were washing windows, now you could say to people, hey, I can also wash your siding. I mean, you just kind of got to practice your technique so you don't accidentally wreck the siding, because sometimes if you spray up under the siding, you could rip the vinyl siding out, right? So you got to kind of keep down on the lower angle or whatever. Learn your technique, learn the stuff, right? So now you got this pressure washer, so you can get your window cleaning and your side cleaning, and you can start doing sidewalks, cleaning out sidewalks of people's houses. Right, I need a steamer. Someone brought roaches into my house. Ew! It's been forever to get rid of them. Bonus was they were only in the kitchen. Thankfully, all my food was in the pantry and no bugs there. Ew! Gross, I didn't need to hear that. Ugh. You got a big house, big family, lots of animals. Yeah, lots of work. So, third level is mechanizing the services. So these are things that will help you make more money. And I think about my sister who's been commenting. She's now got a 3D printer and she's printing cool stuff like this dragon that's behind me. And she's using that to help her make more items for her craft business. So that's awesome, right? So you find that way to mechanize stuff. And I mean, that could be buying your own lawnmower instead of using Mr. Johnson's lawnmower. I think it was when my nephew was renovating houses that he accidentally brought home some cockroaches into the house. So yeah, mechanizing your services, trying to jump it up a little bit, right? So what do we say? New lawn mower. In the case of my sister, it would be buying that new riding lawnmower, right? She does lawns every summer and she just goes and rides her lawnmower. And I think, do you got a trailer you pull, Joy, for your lawnmower, or do you try to get it up ramps into the back of the truck? That seems crazy. Anyway, I don't know if she's got a little trailer. I never asked her. I never saw her transporting her lawnmower. So anyway, mechanizing your services. These additional things that would amp up your services. I think the next item might be here was similar to mechanizing your services is buying tools and supplies. Right, you've gone, you're not, third printer. Circuit cutter and printer for stuff like stickers. Oh, cool, yeah. sewing machine and serger. You needed a serger. I love the serger. I used a serger when I was in high school doing my home economic class. I just love the serger. The idea of it's cutting and it's protecting the end right of the material. It's awesome. It's awesome. Anyway, riding mowers is awesome, and yes, she has a trailer now. That's awesome. Knowing my sister, she was probably just driving her stupid lawnmower all over town to get to her next job. Sounds like her. Good thing she doesn't drink, so she wasn't caught DUI with a lawnmower. So there's all these tools with the circuit cutter, 3D printer, the sewing machine, the serger. I got a sewing machine right here I bought from IKEA. I used it for little things to repair stuff. Not a big artisan or anything like that. But you're starting to mechanize your operation there, right? We got 3D printer. We got Cricut cutter. I don't know what the heck that is. I don't know if it's a circuit cutter or Cricut cutter. Okay. Your own sewing machine. Serger machine, right? If you're doing crafts and things like that. Seriously, I was, and I made my girls do it as well when they was wheeling my house to the berry patch. They loved it. So my crazy sister was driving her lawnmower all over town to her next client that she was getting her daughters to do it to. Mom of the year. Okay. Right. So mechanizing your services, whatever little machine is going to help you do something more. And this could be a new vehicle, right? Vehicle or transport in some sort of way. Maybe you buy a bicycle and now you can get to your customers fast or whatever, right? Like, but now you got a vehicle or your own transport. Maybe this is where you can say, oh, time to do Uber or time to just do deliveries in my town, whatever, right? So I know my sister gives taxi rides every now and again around the community. It's such a big community. It's literally like driving around Edmonton, but it's only like 5,000 people in the winter when there's oil field workers, right? So, but buying tools and supplies. So this is like mechanizing, but there'd be smaller purchases, right? Some sort of tools. Hammer, tool set. So now when you go over to Mr. Johnson's house, you got your own little toolbox and you're like, Mr. Johnson, I know you need to get your something or other fixed. The shelf you put your VHS movies on, I noticed it was wobbly. I got my tools here and a couple extra screws. Let's secure it, right? Like that sort of thing. You've got the tool now to do stuff. Ladder, right? So you're like, oh, Mr. Johnson, we need to change all your light bulbs in this room. They're all burnt out. But you got a little ladder now that help you get up there. What else? Tools and supplies. So I had seriously considered this summer. It was kind of late in the summer though. So it still might be an idea for the spring. But cleaning headlights, because we have these plastic headlights now. Headlights used to be glass and there was never an issue, but now we have the plastic headlights on our new vehicles. And good scissors, some snap thing into snaps to items. Snap thingy. Right. Cutting mats. So if you're doing crafty stuff and you don't want to wreck your table, rulers for your crafting table, mini pliers, again, if you're doing crafty stuff and you're dealing with metal, for jewelry making, stuff like that. Skizzers, pliers. All right, so great ideas, Joy. Thanks for posting those. Where was I? Oh yeah, the lights, headlights. So it takes about half an hour a headlight, because you gotta do a clean, and then you do sanding. There's multiple methods, but it's like, let's do sanding with a low grit sandpaper, and it's kind of a wet sand, so you're putting water on it or cleaning solution, and you sand it down like 3 or 4 times, getting to be a higher grit. So you go from like I saw people doing 1,000 grit to 2,000 grit to 3,000 grit, so that it was, and I've seen other people doing like 400, 800, 1,000, right? So I don't know if the numbers are different from here to the US. So anyway, so you sand it down, and then you like clean it with alcohol, and then you use the special liquid that's I don't even know what to call it. Sometimes you can buy kits to do it, but if you're doing it yourself, then you need this special liquid, and it clears up the light, and it just looks beautiful. And then you put like a UV protectant on it, and it's good for a couple more years, and maybe you get a repeat client, and you're looking at, depending on what you want to do the service for, right, you could be doing $150 a client or something like that, and it takes an hour of your time. But you're also paying for those supplies. So there's the sandpaper, the cleaning bottles, or whatever, right? So if you're doing work for Mr. Johnson cleaning his house, now you're bringing over your own chemicals, your own bottles of stuff, and he doesn't have to purchase all that stuff anymore. So that's fantastic. Let's put these into, yeah. So my sister says, so many little costs for 3D printing. We need shelves to store all the filaments, things like that. So there are a lot of, that's the problem with mechanizing, right? Suddenly you got to look after your tools and your mechanized tools, right? So you got a pressure washer. Well, during the winter, you don't want to store it in the garage, or you got to make sure it's drained properly if it's going to be out there in the cold, freezing over winter. If you got that new lawnmower, if you're doing a lot of lawns, yeah, you're probably going to have to sharpen the blade like weekly or something like that, right? So you start getting these extra costs, right? If you're using a sewing machine now, well, now you need a bunch of thread, and you need to clean the machine and oil the machine every now and again, right? The same. And Joy mentioned the 3D printing stuff. You gotta store all the different colored filaments and things that go into the machine when you're doing the 3D printing. So it becomes this level of tools and mechanisms. It's not simple anymore. You're kind of going into that realm of first level difficulty, basically. So mechanizing your services. And at this point, if you've got all these extra costs in business, we like to call them overhead costs. Now, you have to pay for repairs and tools, whatever, right? And you're trying to cover all those costs. So you're probably increasing what you charge people. Maybe you're moving away from bartering at this point, but you could still be doing bartering, especially for Mr. Johnson. You've done a lot of work for him at this point, right? But now you need to step up a level. You need to actually start making more money. So at this point, first level, you're pawning stuff. You're maybe doing a garage sale each weekend, lemonade stand type stuff, and it's just now and again, right? It's maybe every weekend you're doing a garage sale for the summer, but it's not a whole lot of time for you. At the second level, you're booking clients in, so maybe you're doing multiple evenings to go do stuff for them, especially on the weekends. Maybe you're still doing your garage sale because you got people bartering for your other services. So, and this could be, right, this is just the physical, the easy stuff. I mean, as soon as we say you have to ramp it up, you may want to find some way to maximize that ramp up. And that's where you got to be ready for the next level. Next level. Oh my God, why did mini pliers go there? Jesus. Who's in charge of this? So, no, we're not at fourth level yet. I meant, because you have all these extra costs now, you need to really double and triple down on that social media stuff. And social media, but you also, any of your current clients, you have to remember to always ask for referrals. You have to ask for referrals. This has to be a constant thing. And every time you go over to old Mr. Johnson's house and do something for him, you'd be like, hey, Mr. Johnson, do you know anyone else that might need a steam cleaning? I just bought this new steam cleaner and I need to pay it off, right? So, yeah, he's going to be like, oh, Marge down the road, she's got a couple, God, they're still covered in bed bugs or something. Anyway, so Marge down the road might need a steam cleaning too. Now you got the steam cleaner, you go to her entryway, because that's where it's really dirty with the rug she has there. Or maybe just the little path from her bedroom to the kitchen and the bathroom, like, and maybe just a hallway you're doing the whole living room or something like that, right? So you've always got to ask for referrals. Ask for referrals. Oh my God. I spelled referrals. 2 R's, not 2 F's. I keep making that mistake. Anyway. So you got to be asking for referrals for sure. If you're at this third level and you've started purchasing mechanization, tools and supplies, you're asking for referrals, because now now you're in the big leagues. You're not in the big leagues yet, but now you've got some overhead expenses. So you got to make sure that you're covering those expenses. Social media. Double, triple down. I mean, we've talked about the social media. Right now you've done a little bit and it's just kind of in your friends group and your connections, nothing extreme. But now you've got the expenses, and still the cheapest way to market or to advertise is to use social media marketing. So you're gonna want to just be posting, and you want to decide which social media sites your possible clients hang out. you kind of want to start with that 1 or 2, but I think the quicker you can expand posting to 5, 7 social media sites. So this live is going to LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter X. I am live streaming right now to 5 social media sites right now. When I'm done the live, this cool program, Restream.io, will give me viral clips of less than 60 seconds from this live that I can use this program to post to my other socials. Well, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, not Twitch, but I think I can go to X, and I can also go to TikTok. So that's 5. So I did 5 and TikTok. So I'm hitting 6 social media websites every day I do a live. I'm hitting 6, and I'm doing at least 2 or 3 of those shorts I'm posting. I try to save them up for the weekend, so when I'm not going live, I can post some on Saturday and post some on Sunday. But you are posting. You're posting like mad. So you are like 3+ posts to, I don't know, 3 to 7 socials per day. Woo! That feels like a lot of work. When you're first starting out, it is going to feel like a lot of work. But I'm following the advice from guys like Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. He's a marketing guru, and he's always telling everybody social media is free to post. I mean, big organizations, they pay for people to do the posting, so it's not necessarily free, but they no longer have to spend money on advertising unless something pops off and just goes viral, right? Then you put some money into it. But until then, you can use all that money on your marketing, which is your creative, the time you're spending doing this stuff. And I mean, that's a whole nother realm of things, but 3+ posts to 3 to 7 socials per day, right? Consider going live multiple times per week, and multiple times. Consider posting a random post each day. Random trending post each day. So each day I try to go to trends.google.ca or .com. Well, anyway, you go to Google Trends and you see what in your area, in your country, has gone viral or what's trending right now in the last 24 hours. And then you make a video about that. Now, you be very careful and you do the research on so you actually know what's going on. Otherwise, you'll be like me when I did the test. Tylenol was trending, and I'm like, oh, Tylenol related to HR. I was trying to relate it to HR, and I said, hey, Tylenol is HR's best friend, right? And I didn't read the news stories where President Trump had talked about accusing Tylenol of creating autism. And I'm like, oh my God. Do your research. If you're going to make a quick video, take the Take the 5 minutes to read the news story of what's going on with that trending topic before you make a silly post like I did, right? So there was someone who commented and said, so when I'm dealing with HR, am I dealing with someone who has autism? It's like, oh my God. I really stepped in it. So that was great. It was great to step in it like that, right? So this is where you're starting to really step up your social media, because now you're trying to get more business. So if you're kind of following this, and it's side hustles, and it's local service, or it's a local product, or you might be an artisan who's trying to sell their stuff, when a piece of your social media goes viral for you, so say you normally get 100 views a day on your content. If you get a couple thousand, 5,000, 10,000 views, that's a piece of content that you could instantly just pay some money and boost it. However the social works, right? You could just boost it. And if you're on something like Facebook, you should be able to do some targeting. You should be able to say, because I'm a local business and I'm working locally, right? You obviously don't want customers from the United States, and you don't want customers from the next province over. I mean, unless you live in a community like Lloydminster on the Saskatchewan-Alberta border. But so you want to say, I'm boosting this just for people within 5-kilometer radius or 10-kilometer radius or something. Like keep it simple, keep it small. And what it was called, snap pliers. Oh, okay. Is it like putting rivets together type thing? I don't know what she's talking about. Anyway, so you want to boost it just locally where you are. So if you are an odd jobber, or you're getting into steam cleaning hallways, or right, I mean, or you're a small pressure washer for the summer, you just want to boost that advertising around your local area, because you don't want to have to drive 50 kilometers to go wash someone's sidewalk, because then you'd have to charge them travel, and that would be terrible. But if you're also a small business person and all you have is the pressure washer, and you're doing pressure washing this summer, you don't have a vehicle to take you to the next town or across the city or even across town, right? You want to keep it in your neighborhood as much as possible, because you're pulling your pressure washer down the road on its wheels, right? Normally pressure washers come with little wheels. So, but you also got to bring your hose. So maybe you got a wagon, larger wagon, right? So, but you're not driving in a vehicle. You don't have a truck, whatever, right? We're trying to keep it simple. Eventually you'll have a truck and a trailer, and you'll be able to put your lawnmower and your pressure washer and your steam cleaner and your sewing machine. Well, okay, you're not putting your sewing machine on your truck, but so this is the third level. This is, I'm thinking of quitting my job, right? At this point, you might be making enough money. My sister says, I know the small businesses are hurting because of the tariffs to the US. I was watching some Canadian crafters that can't send because it costs like $100 to send a $30 product. Yeah, I mean, stop selling to the US for a while. Hopefully, eventually, things will change and it'll make it easier. But I had just started to go live on Whatnot. I want to sell some of my old collector cards and my old comics and things like that. I got one show done, and then Canada Post went on strike. And now they're doing rotating strikes, but still, I'm just waiting till they're done to sell this stuff. I mean, it's not like I'm making a lot of money. I actually lost about $20 on my first show on Whatnot, right? So, I mean, that was long. We might want to continue this next week because we've been going for an hour and 45 minutes. And I think third level, you're moving from triage, desperate make some money situation to the ramp up. This is your first ramp up of your business. You've got some mechanized services, you've got the better tools and supplies, you're doubling down on the social media because it's free to post, and you're asking for referrals. And I would say at this point, right, it's a little bit, no, not yet. I think that's fourth. That's not fourth. Fourth level, this is, I think it's a little bit bigger. I think you might incorporate, you might get business licenses, right? Because right now you're kind of first, second levels, you're kind of under the radars. As soon as you get into the third level and you're kind of starting to ramp up, you're getting on the radar of the local municipality and maybe even the province. You're starting to make a little bit of money, and at this point it could still be an extra $500 to $1,000 a month, but that's a lot of money for somebody, right? An extra $500 to $1,000 a month, that's a lot of money for some people, right? So fourth level, you're doing these, you might incorporate, might get your business licenses. You're not just asking for referrals anymore. You're starting to ask for Google reviews as part of your process, right? You're like, hey, do you know anyone else who might need this service? And they're like, yeah, John down the road needs his driveway pressure washed. Okay, I'll go talk to him. And I hope you enjoyed the service today. Please give me a Google review. Here's the link, right? You've got to start actively getting the Google reviews, because especially if you're local service business or something, whatever you're doing, you want to start getting those Google reviews. It's just still the gold standard. That might change with the advent of AI, because maybe less people will be searching on Google and maybe more people will be searching through ChatGPT or something like that. So there could be a change. So just be aware, but Google reviews are still king. I think this is just my notes, but we can talk more about these different topics next week, next Wednesday. But it's kind of this progression of your business. Right, if you're third level, this is something I almost forgot. Affiliate programs. So you are doubling and tripling down on your social media. You're trying to get that buzz, and you've got to do this for like 3 to 12 months, right? This is not a short, easy thing. But if you care about what you're doing and you love what you're doing, you are going to create content for the next 3 to 12 months to see if it's viable, to see if you get interest, right? So let's say you are pressure washing. You've done Old Man Johnson's place. You're doing it now yearly for him. And you got neighbors, and you've maybe upgraded to a new pressure washer. Now you've got all kinds of content. Maybe you're showing before and after videos. I watch these lawn cutting videos by shoot, I forgot his name. Every time he ends this video, he's like, yeah, he does this, right? He just finished cutting something or cleaning something, right? And his content is always out there. Oh my God. Have you seen any videos from Judy? She makes pancakes and has a restaurant. Go eat her pancakes. That's basically her advertising, but she's using these trending topics and memes and things like that, and she's just making these funny videos, and she's normally just running with her plate of pancakes after you. And there was the one video where you pass by somebody and they're suddenly in your back seat while they're driving along, and there's Judy standing on the side of the road with her big stack of pancakes, and you can hear the people in the vehicles. They're like, oh, that's Judy, don't stop, she'll try to sell us pancakes, right? And they watch her go by, and then suddenly Judy was in the back seat. You want to buy my pancakes? She is a funny lady, and she's doing some amazing marketing for her small business. Her pancake store, her restaurant, she just opened a second one, I guess, is in like Minnesota. Yet I'm seeing her videos. She has some amazing reach because she's just making these funny videos for her restaurant, and it's usually her trying to force pancakes on people, right? It's pretty funny, but she's doing a lot of work, and that's amazing. So imagine if you could find some way to be funny like that with your advertising, and your social media is now spreading quite a bit. And so I can't go eat pancakes at Judy's restaurant. I love pancakes. Absolutely love pancakes. We went to a local restaurant this weekend, and I had pancakes. I woke up dreaming of pancakes. Maybe I watched that Judy video before I went to bed, but I woke up wanting pancakes, and we went and had pancakes. But I couldn't go to Judy's to go eat her pancakes. So now she's doing big advertising. She's going viral for her restaurant. But me, who's seeing the viral videos, can't do anything. So Judy says, I am now designing my own pancake mix. Right? Or I've got a pancake recipe book for all my different types of pancakes at my restaurants. This is an affiliate link. Or it's now a digital item that she's selling, right? Affiliate programs or digital downloads. So Judy has put together a recipe book for all her pancake recipes. She's got like 30 types of pancakes in her restaurant. Now you can get it for $10 download, right? It's just a digital download. There's no expense to her, but she's got a link. Excuse me. She's got a link on all her social medias pointing to her digital download, right? The website might say, oh, Judy's is open from this time to this time. If you can't make it down, check out our pancake recipes, right? $10. You purchase it, $10. All of a sudden, Judy is making hundreds, thousands of dollars every day because her her marketing has gone viral, and people from all over North America are now wanting Judy's pancakes, but they can't get there. I mean, if I go down to the States, I won't for a long while, but if I was to go visit there, I would definitely say, we're going to Judy's to go have pancakes, right? Just because of her marketing. And that's where you want to be. So if you're putting all the money in to your local business, you now say, how can I make some money off that? So I'm pressure washing. I make a link to the pressure washer company and I join their affiliate program, and or I join the affiliate program on Amazon or some other big seller like that, and I put the link. This is the pressure washer Ian uses to clean stuff. People look at it. They can't hire me because they're seeing my ad in Vancouver. So obviously I'm not going to go pressure wash their sidewalk. But Ian says this pressure washer is the best. So I will consider that and I may purchase it. And Ian gets a kickback. It's $1,000 pressure washer. Ian probably makes $10-20, right? That's something. Have a digital download. Again, think of your business. How can you create a digital download? Something simple. $5 ebook, whatever your topic might be. I have a $7 ebook that teaches small organizations to solve staff problems in 5 days. And I'm selling that for $7. And that's on my links. This link here up in the top corner, going to all my links, that goes to a place where they can buy my services. A lot of my services I can just do online and do Zoom meetings with people. And other services like my ebook, it's got nothing to do with me. I did set up a program on my website that allows me to sell through my website. God, I'm choking on something here. So there was a little bit of work I had to do. And I'm going to save this. Well, I'm going to stop sharing because we're going to talk more about, we're going to continue this next week. And we're going to go into the more higher level stuff. But this is you starting your small business and doing that side gig, trying to get it going. So my links, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open another window. New window. And that link in the top corner of my screen right now goes to my link tree. And I'm going to share that screen. Here it is. I'm going to shrink it up a little bit. So what you see there, my link tree, and this is just the free version. I could pay for it if I want to, but this is the free version. So I've got my Stop Staff Drama Fast. That's my ebook. That's the ebook I wrote. It's a small version of my larger ebook, but I'm selling it for $7. And this is good for any organization in the world, really. Then there's the small business HR consulting sessions. So you purchase that and you get me one-on-one, and we work your HR in your business, right? Like we brainstorm together. I give you things you could do. Maybe I might do a little work for you or whatever, right? And then I have the small business coaching, business marketing coaching. So these are the same things that I'm doing, but I like to brainstorm with people because I mentioned it depends on the type of business you have. So you need to come up with ideas based on your business, or that might benefit your business in some way, whether it's the funny stuff or you want to be serious, whatever. So it's kind of like we can talk about your branding and things like that, right? And then I have the Kairos blanket exercise in Edmonton. Again, all these websites, all these links so far go to my website, littlebluehouse.ca, and you just purchase through my website. I'm keeping it simple. You do need a little bit of technical know-how, but you could keep it even simpler than this. You could have your affiliate programs hosted on a different website, right? So the Kairos blanket exercise, this is what I do with me and my wife, and we teach the last 500 years of Indigenous history in North America. And of course, this is the information about this live podcast. I have all the cancellation dates when I'm not going to be going live, and the regular topics for each day. And I'll try to keep that updated with things going on. And then Wabasca Native Crafts by Elder Millie. This is my mother and her beading and her moccasin making. I mean, she's just amazing at this stuff. You can purchase that from her. My sister runs that site, and she does sell some of my mother's stuff on her own website. So my sister's business, Unbound Creations, Indigenous Craft Business, I put in there. So, if you want to support Indigenous craftspeople, artisans, you know that you can do it through these two links, because I'm Indigenous and we're Indigenous. So, and here is an interesting link: support Indigenous on Amazon.ca. So I am an affiliate of Amazon.ca, and I link to stuff, and this is just a general. Basically, it's a search for Indigenous on Amazon. So you're going to see all the stuff that are about Indigenous people, made by Indigenous people, that's on Amazon. And I really want to support as many Indigenous people as I can. So that's where I do it. But if you go there, you purchase something, I get a little kickback. You spend $20, I may make 50 cents, right? Like, and passion projects help us preserve the Sakao Cree language. This is my language from North Central Alberta. This is the language my mother speaks. I consider her an expert for this language, so an elder for this language, and I'm trying to build this up. So I'm asking for donations if people go there, right? Whatnot. This is where I'm trying to sell some of my collectible stuff. Live social selling. Essentially, I go live like this, and I say, here's an item. It's like the Home Shopping Network, except anybody can do it, right? And there's a lot of $1 auctions if you're looking for collectibles. So just a ton of items on this website, right? Cool. I say cool. This is a little bit more of my creative outlet also. Cool HR designs on t-shirts, coffee mugs, stickers, and more, and magnets. So I've created these designs, and I'm putting them on a website called TeePublic. It is a US-based website, but it's my art. It's my designs on there. So just trying to make a little extra money, right? This is my general book a discovery meeting with me. And we can talk about HR, Indigenous relations, or if you want to collab with me, you want to be on this show. Joy says she's an affiliate, but I haven't done anything with it yet. I really should. Yeah, just set yourself up a link tree and just make this the link on all your socials from now on, right? You're driving people to this, not necessarily like I used to drive people just to my website. But I'm finding that this is more, this is easier to do, because if I wanted to do different things or send people to a specific page on my website, I'm finding this useful. Use the tool you want to use, but this is free right now. So free dollars. Yeah. And then these last two are actually from my Fiverr gigs. So I help people with resumes, and I'll actually share their LinkedIn post or article to my followers on LinkedIn, and they pay me a few bucks to do this. And I don't, like I said, I don't make a whole lot of money from Fiverr, but it's there. Like there is one, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ways for me to make money just from this, right? In some way, shape, or form, from $7 to just an affiliate fee. I can make some money. Now, what's the point of doing this? The whole point of creating your link tree or whatever link stuff you might have, the whole point of it is being prepared. So we talked about that level 3, and you're ramping up your social media posting. We talk about Judy and her pancakes in the United States. I can't purchase them, but if Judy has a piece of content that goes just stupid viral, 10 million views, whatever, how many of those 3 million people are gonna buy her pancake recipe book or ebook download for $10, $7, $5? I mean, it may not be, I used to call it scatterbomb marketing, right? You kind of covered everything, and you want people to notice you. And if me as an HR consultant is talking about how I love Dungeons and Dragons, I may post a piece of content that has nothing to do with HR. It's just Dungeons and Dragons and how I like to run my game as a dungeon master or whatever, right? Like I'm talking about that, but I'm an HR consultant. Well, all the people that are interested in Dungeons and Dragons see that piece of content. What percentage of those people, if this piece of content goes viral, what percentage of those people are also interested in human resource services for their small business? Right? So if I go viral, I get 5 million views on some piece of content. They're not all going to be from Edmonton, where I live right now. They're not all going to be from Alberta, and there's not going to be all from Canada. They might not even be all from North America, right? So if you're in the EU, say Germany, and you need some HR support, well, you might not call me because I don't know the rules in Germany, right? If you're in Edmonton, maybe you're in Calgary, somewhere in Alberta, I know the legislation and the rules, right? Obviously. But Mr. Business Owner in Germany is having some staff drama issues. He just watched a video about Dungeons and Dragons, but realizes I'm an HR consultant. And then he goes to my link and he notices that I've got an ebook for sale for $7 Canadian, which he can easily, quickly purchase. And he can still use my knowledge, my skills to help his organization, even though I don't have the knowledge to operate in Germany as an HR consultant. But I do know how people relate to each other, and I do know how to give you advice to try to stop the staff drama in 5 days or less, right? So that's why you're not just posting about your stuff or your service. There is some really great views going to stuff like the before and after. So the lawnmower who puts up his camera and the front lawn just looks like a jungle, and then it shows him mowing the lawn real quick and doing the trimming and trimming the hedge or whatever, right? Or maybe even pressure washing the sidewalks, and then you see the final image and he's like, yeah. I mean, those sorts of videos can go viral. I mean, the pimple popping videos, my God, those go viral. They just get posted and they have like 50,000 views in a few hours. People are watching these videos, right? So how can you get your business into a viral mode? Like, what's really going on? I see these people who are acting out HR situations with themselves or a friend, or the two guys that are reading stories that got sent into them. Hi, Ian. My boss is always doing this, and this one situation where he did this, and I used to watch these videos. Am I the asshole for doing this or whatever? Like, I could do stuff like that for my HR business, but I don't know. I don't enjoy them as much, and I doing a video where I'm talking to myself about an incident feels like a lot of work, a lot of editing. So I'm just like, I don't want to do that, right? I'd rather do a live. I'd rather get a bunch of clips out of it and then just share that, right? So you need some sort of link tree or website where you put all your links on there. Yes, your primary service, book me to get this done, or click here to buy this product. But you may have other things. Here's my digital product about my service. So you could do it yourself. Or, I use this pressure washer. Check it out on Amazon, right? Like, those are the sorts of things you want to be putting on this in preparation for possibly going viral. Because right now you're getting 10 views, 100 views, no sales, and you just got to keep doing it. But if you suddenly go viral and you're not monetized properly, you're not set up to take the clients, or you're not set up to get some money in some sort of way, right? Now you just wait. You set up your link tree or your website with all your important links. Now you just wait while you make content. So next week, I'm going to continue that document, and we're going to start talking a little more advanced stuff. Maybe we'll add some new stuff. Maybe there's stuff I missed. We'll review it, see if anyone has any comments, and then we'll try to continue on, see where we're at. I don't know how many more levels. That was just totally random for me to try to do that. This was a brainstorming activity for us today. Tomorrow is Thursday, and on the podcast we will be talking about Career Club. So resumes, cover letters, interview prep, getting a promotion, your career in general, whatever you want to talk about career-wise. And primarily, we're talking about jobs and our work, our jobs for other people. We don't necessarily talk about gigs and side hustles and things like that. So we're in a world right now where it is very hard to get a job, and it's just strange. I hear so much from these job hunters. They're like, I applied to 100 jobs and didn't even get one interview, right? And that was this week. Right? So it's a very strange world right now, and we need to talk about that, and we need to navigate that together so that we have the right skilled people in the right places. And yeah, since I'm in HR, I've seen the resumes come in. I've seen the back end of that process and how He's hiring managers, do all that stuff, right? So we talk about that stuff. And Friday is fun and games. Talk about anything and everything. I mentioned Dungeons and Dragons. That's where we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to talk about Magic the Gathering. We're going to talk about board games. Last week I talked about the board game Arcs and also Dungeon Lords, probably one of the hardest games to learn. And I mean, we'll talk card games if you want. If you want to sit there and talk about poker, we'll talk about poker. I mean, I'm not a very good poker player, but we could talk about the poker hands. We could do a lesson on poker. I don't know poker. Don't listen to me. Board games. We can talk about movies and music and anything popular culture. If you want to talk about that stuff, we can do that on Friday. Sometimes I go live to Whatnot on Fridays. I might change that. I might pick a different day. But no Whatnot, because I'm still holding out for the Canada Post strike, trying to support them. And what else? Then next week we'll start over again. Mondays is Human Resources. Tuesdays is Indigenous Relations or Indigenous Allyship, because I'm Indigenous. And then we'll be back to Wednesday, which is today was side gigs, side hustles, aka small business marketing. So anyway, we're not going to take any more questions. Too bad. So sad. If you want to check out any of my links, that link tree we talked about, that the link in the top right hand corner, that goes right to it. And I can also pop it up on the screen or not. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I'm in the wrong screen. I just kept popping up that link. This is, if you're old school and want to just type it out in your browser, it is linktr.ee/IanTheHRPro. So that's Linktree IanTheHRPro. So if you want to check that out, go ahead, check it out. If you want to be on the show, let me know. You can email me, you can message me. From there, we can have a meeting and we can talk. It'd be great for your small business to get on the show, get some free advertising. Yeah. So there. If you want to do some advertising on the show, I'll take some of your advertising money and make a little skit for you, or just read your boring ad, whatever you want to do. I'll take your money. Yeah, I think we're done for today. It was a long show. I think there was a lot of value in that. As always, if you got questions in between shows, just put a comment on any of the socials. I should be able to see it. Yeah, okay. I'm going to end this live. Okay.